Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a brand new episode of Flesh Wound FARCE, where we review and discuss your and our favorite comedy films. This is the world's first and only combination trivia host and professional wrestling announcer of Chilean descent that currently resides in Southern California, Ozzy Vee. And with me, as always, on this program, first in the Northern California Bay Area, world-famous juggler Greg Larson. How you doing, Greg?
I'm great because next week we get to review a wonderful movie, another one in the Lost Skeleton franchise, and life's great. How about yourself, Ozzy?
There are micro beings in my blood that when they hear stuff like that, anything having to do with that genre or that group of movies, like a Wish version of Kevin Smith,
Ooh,
every micro being in my blood just convulses out of the sheer anger those movies cause deep down in my soul.
excellent.
Yeah, whatever. Also with us, ladies and gentlemen, Flesh Wound Producer Todd. How you doing, Todd?
I am very good because, this is the first time we've ever talked about this movie on the channel, which is a complete lie because it gets brought up a lot. I'm glad we get to talk about it here. We've never done it. This is my favorite movie. So
Really?
I think this is the first time you've had a hat on that is specific to the film we're reviewing. So,
and
That poster's been there forever.
and I will say I will have a little. I'll show off a couple figures of Toxie Avenger too.
alrighty. So, in case you haven't figured it out, today we do get to review and discuss the 1985 film Toxic Avenger. Todd, do you have a trailer available?
It's actually 1984, but there's a whole thing about Troma's weird. It's 84. It had last year was the 40th anniversary.
Okay.
Yeah, it's.
We'll get into that detail after the trailer.
Okay,
Done.
Here we go.
Meet little Melvin. He's a 90-pound weakling. Everyone hated Melvin.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this mop and shove it down your throat.
They teased him.
I want to do it with you. Okay.
They taunted him. They tormented him until he had a horrifying accident and fell into a vat of nuclear waste, transforming little Melvin into a hideously deformed creature of superhuman size and strength. Melvin became the Toxic Avenger, the first superhero born out of nuclear waste. Yes, the muggers and the rapists didn't know what law and order was until the Toxic Avenger came to town.
Holy shit!
I don't know what it was, but it saved my life.
All right, everybody, drop your tacos or I'll blow your brains out.
The vandals and the perverts had their way with the little people of Tromaville until the Toxic Avenger ripped them apart. The Toxic Avenger. His face is so terrifying. We can't show it to you now. You'll have to see the movie for yourself. The Toxic
Jim Cornette?
Avenger can bend steel with his bare hands.
Oh, we're all a kid. Get it?
Leap small cars in a single bound. He crushes drug pushers. Smashes hit-and-run drivers. And gives all criminals their just desserts. The Toxic Avenger.
It was a hero.
He's a hero. He's a fighter. He's a lover.
Why, Melvin, you're beautiful.
The good citizens love him. The fat and corrupt hate him.
Kill that bastard for me. You gotta kill him.
Yeah.
Will he survive? For incredible explosive action, you must see the Toxic Avenger. He's a different kind of hero. The Toxic Avenger is coming to your town. Look out.
That was the trailer for Toxic Avenger from 1984. I do need to make a quick note on the trailer. It did say that the being spawned out of nuclear waste, it was just toxic waste, not nuclear, two separate things. Now, Todd, you had some info regarding the release date. Could you shed some or elaborate on that?
It gets in 1985 gets said a lot. The thing with Troma is they still do it to this day. They will release it like they used to release movies. It wasn't nationwide, so it was done in 84 and it got screened in New York, and then they traveled around because they make X amount of prints and they travel prints like they used to do in the old days. They still did it then and they still do that now and still travel. So like their last movie, Shakespeare's Shitstorm, hashtag Shakespeare's Shitstorm, took about 5 years before it was like from theatrical starting till it hit home video, or it's digital, I should say nowadays. So and
Gotcha.
it actually, 5 years exactly. It came out in 2020 and is hitting Blu-ray this year. Came out on digital earlier this year.
Gotcha. Well, back to Toxic Avenger. This has a runtime of 82 minutes and does have rated R. Is rated R, rather. This has an original story by Lloyd Kaufman with the screenplay by Joe Ritter, directed by Michael Hers and Samuel Weil, which is actually just for Lloyd Kaufman.
Yeah, it's
also co-directing.
When he didn't want his name on it. When he didn't want his name on everything. So, but yeah.
There you go. This stars Mitchell Cohen and Andrea Miranda. Initial thoughts on this? I always saw the action figures as a kid, but this was my first time ever seeing the movie. So it was interesting to say the least. But right off the bat, the first thing I appreciated about it was that the energy delivered by the talent matched the level of ridiculousness shown to me by the plot. And I like how those things just went together. It wasn't like, one was totally off what the other was trying to do. It was just like unison. So while it was not production value a great movie, it fit and it flowed. It made sense. Just because we were introduced to a world where everything is so over the top that having a hero like, what happened? Did Greg just leave?
No, he froze. He's fixed. Yeah, just finish your thoughts. It was...
Oh man, I wish he just told me that he got upset and just left because he knew that what was coming is a sneak preview for next week when films don't have the energy that matches the ridiculousness or the silliness of the plot, doesn't fit or flow as well. And I'm really bummed Greg was not here to hear that.
Well, I don't know how are we gonna cut, and I just resend him the link.
Okay.
So we can just kind of. Yeah, you didn't notice he was frozen?
I did not notice he was frozen.
He was frozen.
How do you want
He was like sit like this for like a minute. I don't know. You could start it at the top right after the trailer, or you can try to remember where we left off.
Hello?
Hello.
That was weird.
Yes, you froze. You're a little blurry, but
everything on my laptop locked up.
All right, so let's go back from the end of the trailer.
All right, so we'll just come back.
So you'll just do your gimmick, the snow thing.
Yeah, I got it. So you ready? Okay. You ready?
Yeah. Do we need to be in the right spots?
Oh yeah. Thank you, Ozzy.
You're welcome. All right. All right, so I'll count down in 5, 4, 3. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the trailer for Toxic Avenger. We do have a release date of 1984. Todd, do you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, basically with Troma, they do the old school model where they do, for example, 10 prints. They probably did a few more back then, and they travel around. So it just depends like where like the release date gets listed as. So, but it was done in 84 and it started traveling and then picking up momentum in 85.
Gotcha. Also has a runtime of 82 minutes and an R rating. The original story by Lloyd Kaufman, screenplay by Joe Ritter. This had 2 directors, Michael Hers as well as Lloyd Kaufman as Samuel Wheel or Weil. Would you know how that
Weir.
Weir?
I think so.
Weil?
I never I never hear him say it because he just
Because it's a
Lloyd
fake
Kaufman.
name. Yeah, right. So, but in actuality, was Lloyd Kaufman as a separate name. This movie stars Mitchell Cohen and Andrea Miranda. Initial thoughts on this? I had always seen the action figures and was always curious about it, but this was actually my first time watching the movie. And it's a little interesting how there was toys made for a movie as... I guess I should say it's odd how there was toys that were attractive to children that were created from this movie.
Well, it goes like this: the animated series based on the movie that spawned the line of figures.
I see.
But even still, but this is the era we have RoboCop, guy gets shot in the dick. We got a children's cartoon, Rambo. Rambo First Blood Part 2? How many people does he off? Then we have an animated series. I mean, Toxic Avenger was probably the most extreme of them all to get the animated series, just a notch above RoboCop.
Gotcha. What I appreciated though about this movie is that you had the level of energy from the talent match the level of ridiculousness and silliness provided by the plot. See, when those things don't match and you have like a completely ridiculous plot and you just have regular people and they don't even give you anything special, it just seems like you're watching a bad TV show. It doesn't connect, right? But here in this movie, you had such over the top performances, but it was called for because the subject material was equally as ridiculous.
That's also because it's the 80s.
It made sense. That's all my point was. Matched talent, energy.
What's more
story,
ridiculous than not matching the level? That, to me, my friend, is ridiculous. Anyway.
That's called laziness or a lack of talent. One of the two. They're not mutually exclusive. Do you guys have any initial thoughts?
Save it for next week. Go ahead, Greg.
All right. Sorry.
Was this the first time watch too?
First time for the movie, but I did watch the animated series. So, very different. So, but I was super stoked to actually watch it because I do also want to watch the new film that came out. So, great time. I definitely feel it's a dated piece for what it is, but it holds up in a lot of ways. Definitely have some questions about it, but and it was weird, like to right off the bat be like World Trade Center, and then also shortly after using retarded, and I was like, both of those things don't really get used anymore, so it's a dated piece. So yeah.
Here's the thing: this movie was offensive when it came out. It's just as offensive today. Some of the things that are then weren't. Now that they are. But I don't think it's any. It's like still just.
That was the best sentence I've ever heard you say.
Oh, that's pretty good.
But yeah, okay. Well, my history on this one. I saw this at probably the perfect age. I say this changed my brain chemistry and the way I view movies, because this opened up a whole nother possibility. It wasn't just Back to the Future and Aliens. This was a whole like gonzo world of cinema, pushing the limits. And I remember very specifically, I saw the trailer first on a Weekend of Horror VHS tape from the Fangoria magazine, and about the conventions, which I already liked horror, but like still, it was like Freddy, Jason, just the standard.
Mm-hmm.
And then this trailer was on there, and I was like, I don't know what this is, and I need to see it immediately. Went and rented the tape, and you did mention rated R. The version that is out and the one that's widely available is the unrated cut, not the butchered R version. Yeah, there's less head crushings in the other one.
Was the cut that we saw unrated or rated R?
It was the rated R cut.
Okay.
I mean the unrated cut, because you have the head crushings and all the other stuff. All that's
Okay.
all the gores cut out of it, and a lot of the other stuff in the R-rated cut.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, no, I saw this. I fell in love with it, and I still watch it multiple times a year.
And Greg, you gave your initial thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah.
I surprisingly, I did not think I was going to have as good a time with it as I did. I set the bar really low, to be honest, because I saw the trailer too, and I tempering my expectations, excuse me. Going into these favorite moments, you actually had quite a bit. My favorite, though, I don't think was intentional. At the gym, that's one of the setting locations, and in the sauna room, there's a solution that's poured onto the rocks to create steam. And the second time the second time that the film had a scene in the sauna, the girl picks up the bottle and pours it over the rocks, and I look at the bottle, I'm like, that looks like a bottle of like Sunny Delight, like back in the day. And the shot of her has the bottle sitting right next to her, and you can actually see on the bottle Sunny Delight. Like, they didn't even turn the bottle around or like cover up the label. It literally says Sunny Delight, but it has this like clear solution that's supposed to steam up these rocks or whatever. I got such a huge kick out of that. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Black Dynamite, where they would purposely do these things just for it to stick out as like a detail. Yeah, it's like I have another one that could be like the intended humor part. But I'll let you guys go first, just in case you guys say that. Go ahead. Who wants to go next for a favorite moment?
Well, I mean, sauna is supposed to be like the heat of the sun, and you're supposed to be delighted. So,
Oh, Jesus.
it makes sense. This is why I like the Lost Skeleton movies. Anyway,
No, that joke was better than any joke in any of the Cadaver movies. Don't try to give them more than what they're worth.
so worth a lot.
Let's
anyway,
talk about this movie now.
yes. I hate this sometimes. No, I love it. I will own up to it. I appreciate that so many moments in my life, I am still a 10-year-old boy in the humor that I have. And the moment where the guy was upside down in a trash can and he went to town like a boxing bag on the guy's scrotum, was like, I laughed so hard and appreciated every moment of it.
I have so many, Ozzy. Do your second one next, and then I'll go.
Okay. It was actually a specific line. It wasn't a moment.
Okay.
It's after the incident happens with the bicyclist. And one of the guys, they go back and forth, and it's extremely violent, extremely gruesome. And then one of the guys says, "Oh, I can't. I got to go home." "Why?" "I got to go to church in the morning." That got me really good.
It's just the way he delivers it too.
It just felt like out of this entire movie does feel like it's so completely out there, but this one line and that one context is almost like, yeah, but there's a lot of these people out there, I bet. Types of people, like, I can't do that. I gotta go to church in the morning. It just it gave me a good laugh. All right, Todd, what do you got?
I love every frame of this. Like, I love like the points when they're going over the point system for that right before that.
Right, yeah.
I mean, like, and back when I first saw it, like I didn't get like half of this stuff. I mean, now it's like super racist. It's like,
Yeah,
you know,
it's like what you said earlier. The stuff that is offensive now wasn't offensive back then, and the stuff that was offensive then isn't offensive now. So it's
yeah. Man, favorite moment. I love it. I like even just the setup to him becoming the Tox Avenger, like in the gym before he runs out. Just like it's just, I love everything about this movie. Yeah. So there we go.
if there was one critique I had to give. Now I get what I appreciate about like this kind of splatter horror in this dark comedy mixture genre is that, and what sets it up so well is that you have the villains behave very dastardly, like to a point where you're like, oh my God, what is wrong with these people? But you know that this has to set up so that way when they get their revenge or the Avenger comes, and the amount of violence he inflicts makes you feel good. Like as if you watched a terrible, terrible movie and want to see somebody just inflict some pain. It helps. But no, in all seriousness, it actually does a good job making any antagonist in this movie be like the absolute worst, even to the point where like joking that the police chief is a former SS agent, right? Just like to that extreme. So that way you can have your hero doing all this gross, violent things, but it's appropriate because you've already put this in this mindset that all the villains in this story are all pieces of garbage, pieces of toxic garbage, which what makes the toxic event. You see what I'm getting at? But no, seriously, I like the balance of it because I don't like if something. Todd, you know this. You all have had me review some horror movie just because the guy's parents were from Chile. Oh my gosh! And there were some moments in that film that I don't want to talk about again because those moments I'd like to forget. But you had moments in this movie that were like the milkshake, the sundae, and then seeing the thing, and you're thinking like, oh, he's not actually gonna. Oh, he is, but like this guy just held a shotgun to a baby. So like, okay, yeah, you can do it, Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
That's getting into the critique was getting into the dog. Now, while they had to make these guys do all these dastardly things, seeing the quick shot of like him just firing the dog and the dog just going like, okay, I could deal. But then when she says they shot my dog and they show the dog, but the dog's still breathing, like, I could have gone my entire life without seeing that. Now I'd have been perfectly fine. Because then I was also thinking, the dog's still alive. Help the dog. You can see the dog breathing. Help the dog. I don't give a shit about the blind lady. But that was literally the only minor issue I had. Like if there was one thing, just seriously, if there's just one thing that I could change, that would be it.
My favorite line that I can't say is in that scene also. And it has to do with cornholing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
but I'll tell you something about that scene. It's pretty well known, but since it's you guys' first time, you know the black guy who gets his arm ripped off?
Mm-hmm.
He legitimately didn't have that arm. So if you watch him the whole thing, his arm never moves because they got the fake arm on him the whole time. That's why when he's doing his knife stuff, it's only with the one hand.
Oh,
nice.
Oh yeah. So they were smart in the way they did it, and he's actually a good actor too. So they lucked out. So I thought he was one of the better bad guys in there. So
well, definitely got to give him a hand.
Oh, okay.
All right. Sorry. If I were to critique something in this, there's two things in here, but I'll go with one just because of semantics, and it just makes, I don't know if this makes the people worse or if I'm just being too judgy of it. But the there's a scene where they are trying to prostitute an underage girl, and he says 12-year-old for $12. Like, part of me was like, maybe that was a lot back then, but the conversion rate is $38 today. Like, that seems way low if someone's trying to have a business, you know? Like, don't condone any of it in general, like all around bad, but like when
I'm
you're
just saying,
lowballing that,
if you're gonna do that, you should, put them all
Make
on
your
an
money.
island and then like charge a bunch of money and like
That's
be
right.
friends with celebrities,
You get it, Ozzy. You get it. So just 12 for 12. It's not an Arby's, It's
Not yet.
That does remind me. Todd, did you have a critique you wanted to? Because
Absolutely not. It's
I wanted to piggyback on what Greg said, because right before that happened, you actually saw Melvin, his character's name, as the Toxic Avenger, and he was relieving himself in an alley, He was urinating, and it was toxic. It was like acid. As soon as it hit the ground, it had like this green kind of, like dangerous chemical, whatever. Right?
Are you going to ask about other stuff that comes out of there?
I was just saying, like we was having sex,
with pants on.
Like, so it was
to
dry
be
humping.
fair, with how nerdy he was, that's probable.
Okay, well, even then,
Okay, Brody.
he
I didn't
still
think that
should have something should have still burned through the crotch area of the pants.
Okay.
Maybe.
Well,
And
we don't have Stanley here to answer this question.
I do want to give maybe I'm wrong on this, Todd. You're a little bit more well versed in the industry. Did they just not give that poor actor who played the non-Toxic Avenger version of him like no lines, so they didn't have to pay him as much? Like, did he not reach that quota of lines to get paid as a main actor or anything?
No, that is Mr. Mark Torgel. No, I don't know. He actually was in other Troma movies before, and he does pop up in the sequel later. Not 2 or 3 because he was off college or something. I don't remember.
Got it.
But he actually became a pretty prominent Hollywood trailer editor for quite a few years.
Oh, good for him.
Okay, so we're finished with our critiques. Let's get into our ratings of the movie. Either one of you guys want to go first, or should I?
I'll go last, obviously.
Okay, that sounds good. I'll kick things off. Things were very extreme in this movie. But if you're watching a movie titled The Toxic Avenger and you see the poster, we got it right behind you, Todd, paired with and it's also on your hat, but this paired with the first 10 to 15 minutes of the film where you see how over the top and ridiculous all these characters are, it just fits and flows. And it's kind of like, to a certain degree, like Batman, where Batman's all about Bruce Wayne wanting to bring terror into those who bring terror, like prey on those who prey on the fearful, right? So that's, you kind of get a kick seeing criminals be scared, right? Because they're the ones that are doing the scaring. So this kind of sense, it's kind of the same thing where you get to see like the fast food restaurant. I mean, you got to see these 3 guys terrorizing this, and you get to see these guys have become completely frightened at this monstrosity that's coming after them. So it's like kind of that little sense. And that also does remind me, to this point, of that Mexican restaurant is why were there samurai swords in a Mexican restaurant?
Because it's cool.
No. It says the Mexican place. Creative name. But on the wall, there's a sombrero and then 2 samurai swords underneath it, like the skull and crossbones, like the Jolly Roger. I didn't understand.
You saw what kind of tacos they were making. It was New Jersey. They weren't probably, And it was 1984.
White people behind the counter too.
Yeah.
So
It looked like a damn Taco Bell. You're thinking too much. This wasn't the LA Taqueria or some. This was some Jersey
I know,
white
but
people
Taco Bell
tacos.
wouldn't have samurai swords. I mean, I've gotten Mexican food in Kentucky, and there weren't samurai swords on the wall.
Didn't go to the right one.
I will say that I think all the Mexicans in the state of Kentucky were working at this one restaurant because I didn't see one. Yeah. Anyhow, so finally getting back to the rating, I appreciated its over the top performances, and I was compelled to want to see how this movie gets finished. And an 82-minute runtime definitely helps. So this I'm surprised I'm giving this as the rating as I'm giving, but thinking back, it fits and it makes sense. Like for me to give it this, I'm giving it a 4. I really enjoyed it because there was that balance and everything just fit really well. Even though its production value has so much more left to be desired, you look past that because it's a basic story, but it's just fun to watch.
So these movies are always interesting to get into, like, because a lot of these older movies, from when we were younger and such or before, sometimes they're assisted by the member berries, like it's because we've got these feelings towards some of the movies. And so coming into these movies when in this day and age sometimes doesn't play well. This one, however, was fine. I enjoyed myself. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was ridiculous. It was over the top. Had a fun story. There were some parts where I was like, nah, I don't know. At first, I was going to give it a 4. But then when I had something click in my head that was like, huh, they also were trying to tell you that love is blind, I decided to give it a 4.5.
Todd?
I mean, I'm a 5. Like I said, it's my favorite movie. I love it. And I'm going to show off some figures too. Whenever we're ready.
Let's see them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's I'll make my window a little bigger. So there we go. Okay. I just got a couple. All right. Well, since we talked about Toxic Avenger and Toxic Crusaders, since I have both, I'll show. So I'm going to start off with, it's a nice little pop. I'm not a big pop collector, but it is the Toxic Avenger. So there you go. There's that. But they
Kinda
also
looks like
did
Jason without the mask.
Yeah, I see that. They also did a Toxic Crusaders version. So that was cool. But all right. Here we go. It's one of the what's the brand? Oh shoot. I forget. The Mego figure. Duh. Yeah, like they used to make the old Megos. So we got a full. That's an all. We have the alternate packaging, Mego. I like the Mego figures. They're a little before my generation, but then they have these cool new deluxe ones. Let's see. He's got different heads, but the mold on this one actually comes from this figure, so it has the more happy cartoony look. So, but I do like those, the size of those. And do I have any more? I might have. Yeah, I do. We have the Toxic Avenger, like the little Star Wars styles. Those are my favorite. These are my favorite
Nice.
style figures. Are these? But I also have this one. This is probably my favorite. I like the color scheme on it and the background. It feels like the movie. And then I have this clear one with the messed up package, but that's not all. I also have the Toxic Crusaders figure.
There we go.
And the big Toxic Crusaders figure. This is actually a reproduction of the one that you guys probably remember that came out back in the day, like you were referencing the old toys. This is the same mold. The box is just different.
Gotcha.
Oh, I forgot this one. I also have this one. This one's in a big box because it's a more rare one. This is the first one that came out in the first wave. And I got one more. This is the one I like. Yeah. I wish they had the version that was more like the movie, but we have the giant Toxic.
Oh, jeez.
So yeah.
That's
Basically,
awesome.
if you stick his face on it, I'll buy it when it's Toxic Avenger. So and yeah, so I even got a.
Is that like a
Oh,
Halloween
perfect.
pail?
Yeah, it's like a bucket, trick or treat.
Nice.
Those sold out really fast. So
I
I'm
bet.
glad that they're getting all the marketing, like the licensing for Toxic Crusaders, because that was a millennial thing. Right now is hot, and there's a lot of stuff. So I don't get
Cool.
everything, but it's hard for me. There is a new Toxic Avenger cologne. I haven't got it yet. I was one of the ones who bought the Attitude cologne, the WWF Attitude cologne. So I can own the Toxic Avenger cologne.
Like, is it gonna smell good, or will it intentionally smell bad?
I think they made it smell good, but
Oh,
I would
that's
I would
unfortunate.
think it'd be like those jelly beans from Harry Potter.
Right.
Like that'd be pretty much, you buy this expensive cologne and you spray it and it smells like toxic waste.
I'll give you another little thing I didn't say. A couple weeks ago, probably about a month ago now, when we went and saw the screening in Glendale, I can't remember where it was, Gardena, of the Toxic Avenger reboot, and before that they had the screening of Mr. Melvin, which is a combination of Toxic Avenger 2 and 3, where it's combined into one good movie versus two movies. So one wasn't very good because it was like Kill Bill. They started out as one movie and they split it up into two. So cutting an hour out, making it 1 2-hour movie is so much better. So anyway, we saw that, and we saw that with the creator, Lloyd Kaufman, and Pugs got to play the Toxic Avenger all night. In the costume for the photo ops. Yeah, Pugs got to.
I see. Okay.
That's awesome.
So I should have had the photos ready, but I shared them off on the other show. But yeah, so I was jealous. I had to run up at one point. You just got directed by Lloyd Kaufman as the Toxic Avenger, because Lloyd was telling him how to do it for the picture, so he was directing him.
Oh,
that's cool.
So
there you go. All righty. Well, anything else on this film before we head off this evening? Oh, actually, I will say this. So I'm on some. I understand what joke I could be setting myself up for, but let me just say this so I can move on to my next part. I have to take this medication at a specific point every day at the same time, and I've been taking it at 9:30 every morning. But it has to be 30 minutes after I eat. I was watching this movie this morning, and my alarm went off, letting me know I had to eat so I could take my medicine. And I'm in the middle of this movie, and I had zero appetite. I grabbed like a protein bar, and as I'm eating the protein bar, I'm just like begrudgingly eating it just because
you have to.
You're not going to want to like get a pizza and then watch this movie.
Well, some of us are different. I'd have no problem eating during this, but like, because it's not realistic gore to me. This is 80s movie gore.
Yeah, I get it, but you know,
you're not going to watch
it's like
Hostel and eat a pizza.
It's like Morpheus from the Matrix. Your brain makes it real, you know, at least for me. So like I'm eating this protein bar and I'm seeing all this gore and I'm just like, this doesn't taste good. Like it's like my brain is filling in the blanks almost.
The weight kill is probably one of the better gooey ones.
Oh, that was solid.
Yeah, we can go with that. So we don't have anything else on this film before we head off this evening.
I mean, don't ask me that because I'll just keep talking about it.
Okay.
So.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this does conclude our review for the Toxic Avenger. If you do happen to be in the Orange County area this week, I'll be hosting trivia this Tuesday at the Rush Bar and Grill beginning at 7:00 in Lake Forest. Also this Wednesday at the Brewery in Placentia, also at 7:00. Both are free to play and prizes for the top winning teams. Come on out, have some fun. And you guys have anything else in general before we head out for this evening?
No.
They need to make more Toxie figures.
They need to make more Toxie figures. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for world famous juggler Greg Larson and Flesh Wound producer Todd, I'm Ozzy Vee, and we'll see you next week right here on a brand new episode of Flesh Wound Farce.